And good evening and welcome to Edinburgh. We're at the southern tip of Texas to bring you exciting USL Championship soccer. Tonight, the Rio Grande Valley Toros battle Hartford Athletic. It's East versus West. And how do you do? I'm Mark May with Brian Smith. We're at the beautiful HEB Park on ESPN+. Brian, tell us about our players to watch here tonight.
Take a look at Hartford Athletic to open it up and take a look at that midfield. Prepa. What a spectacular performance he has had on the season for the Hartford Athletic. He's got a 87% pass accuracy. That is dynamic. He should be that linchpin that gets that offense going. It's Hartford to put some goals up very quickly, come away with a victory. On the other side for the Rio Grande Valley Toros, it's going to be somebody working his way off the back line into the midfield. Jonathan Ricketts, first season with the Toros, he has been a mainstay on the back line. He'll play a little bit forward in the midfield today as the Toros and Coach Wilmer Cabrera still try to shake up that lineup just a little bit, finding some big points they need to get back into the chase in the West. Let's take a look at those starting lineups, beginning with visiting Hartford Athletic. No big surprises here. In goal is Uta. And they'll go with 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, and the 2 forwards, Obregon and Barrera, to try to break through against this staunch defense for the Toros. On the other side for Rio Grande Valley, pretty similar lineup to what you expect to see. Tyler Derrick in goal, 3 defenders, 5 midfielders, and then 2 forwards, a new face in Christian Pinzon, and the return of Frank Lopez, the Toros' leading scorer for most of this season, back in the lineup after a lengthy time off to heal from injury. He'll look to have a big start early here, tying the Toros to what could be a pretty big victory. Keys to the match in this one on both sides for the Toros: attack, pressure, and finish. 3 strong words. The Toros are a team that likes to build off of the counter, especially this season. Can they find a way to attack that opposition, put enough pressure on them to force a timely turnover, and then finishing that final third, which has been their Achilles heel all season long. On the other side for Hartford, they have got to lock down defensively, prevent the Toros from racing up on the wings, avoid those quick counters. That's how the Toros have found most of their goals this season, has been on the quick counter.
And indeed, had a defender score their only goal last week in the loss at San Diego. That was Eric Pimentel. We've just moments away from the opening kickoff, the Toros and the Hartford Athletic. We'll take a break. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow,
creating more jobs
and more opportunities for all of us.
working together.
Together,
we do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly.
My goodness.
I can see myself getting this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. That's back, and it's only for a limited time.
And welcome back to HEB Park here in the Rio Grande Valley, deep south Texas, just about 10 miles north of the border with Mexico. I know our fans watching in Hartford Connecticut. Wonder what it must be like. Just how far away are we? Almost 2,100 miles separate these two communities. And, you know, Texas, we're in the middle of summer. It's July. A lot of heat, a lot of humidity. Brian, do you think that'll be a factor on Hartford tonight?
I think it's something to keep an eye on. Coming out of that extreme northeast, the heat and humidity down here in the valley, something very different than what they've seen anywhere else in the USL, and especially in Hartford, Connecticut. We were talking before the match about this one. It's a cool evening in Edinburgh, 98 degrees.
That is cool. Anything in double digits is considered cool at this time of year, this far south, and especially this year with the heat waves that have been engulfing much of the United States and all of the world, it seems. About ready to get started here between these two teams. Both of these teams, easy enough to say, both of them need all 3 points tonight, don't they?
That's an understatement of the record for these two teams. The Rio Grande Valley has been in several matches. Their defense is what keeps them in matches. They've really struggled, though, to put the ball in the back of the net. On the other side for Hartford, they're getting some goals. Where they're struggling is preventing the opponent from putting in. They've allowed 8 goals in each of their last 2 matches combined. So they'll look to lock the defense down. The Toros look to score some defense. Whichever one can find the back of the net more, going to pick up what are 3 pivotal points in their race back into the playoff picture.
Yeah, we're underway now. You can see the Toros are in white, and Tyler Derrick in goal there has to get rid of the ball there quickly as Hartford was closing in. Hartford Athletic in the navy blue here. And I'm sure both teams feeling that they can probably pull off a win tonight. Both these teams entering the evening in 10th place in their respective groups. Hartford in Group East and the Toros in Group West. Although the Toros, as we see a little bit of a move here, Andre Lewis passes it out to Johnson. Johnson inside, a header, and a nice save there by Derrick. Derrick had to go to full extension. Might have been wide, but there was a winger there just to his left that would have put that ball in if Derrick had not made that save.
He read that beautifully. Comes out like a big prowling panther and pounces on it. Almost lost it again, but take a nice job. He keeps it down. You see the full extension. And then he's got Ward standing right over the top of him, and Ward very quick to jump on that and clear it out, preventing the Athletic from getting a good look on net.
And that was Johnson who sent it into the box, and then Juan Carlos Obregon who got the flick-on header, forcing Derrick to make a quick reaction save. So in the first minute, seeing a little bit of action here. And I was going to say the Toros have been struggling to find goals as of late. Hartford's been giving up goals in bunches as of late. That might be just the tonic the Toros need. But then Hartford is also looking optimistically, I'm sure, at this Toros team that has been winless in 5 straight.
I think that's a good decision by Hartford. Come out and really take it right to Rio Grande Valley. Put it right in the face of Tyler Derrick. Make him challenge. Because if you can get the Toros off of the attack and put them back on their heels defensively, it's going to take a lot of pressure off of your defense. When you're Hartford that's giving the kind of goals they are, any pressure you can take off that defense is only going to help you.
Long pass there by Connor McGlynn, the midfielder. Goes out of bounds, and it'll be Toro's ball. I think it was intended for Danny Barretta on the right wing. McGlynn scoring the only goal for Hartford last week. A 2-1 loss to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. In fact, they've were swept by Pittsburgh this year, a couple of 2-1 losses to the Riverhounds. Now, the Riverhounds are a team the Toros beat back in June. In fact, that was the last Toros win we've seen for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, the Toros just still trying to make some adjustments to that lineup. You see, Coach Cabrera has made a slew of changes in the starting lineup. The return of Frank Lopez. You're seeing Christian Pinzon, a recent signee, coming back in. Toros announced earlier this week a couple of quick changes as well. They sent Jesus Vasquez to Indy 11 in exchange for Jonas Fjordberg, a player that was a dynamic factor in the scoring for the Toros last season. So Cabrera is still trying to shake up this lineup enough and build a team that he thinks can put the kind of goals together they want. He may have just turned that corner.
And there's Icaza with a shot from distance, goes well over the bar. Emilio Icaza right there, 24 years old, out of St. Petersburg, Florida. With Austin Bold much of last year, came to the Toros in September as they got hot there and made a late season run, got into the playoffs. Jonas Feldberg was also one of those late season signees that helped him get into the playoffs, gave him a little more offensive punch. That's probably what the Toros are looking for in getting Feldberg back in this lineup, although he's not on the pitch here today. 4th minute now. Both teams have had a couple of chances. Hartford's had the best one so far. Kyler Derrick forced to go to full extension to make a save. Here's Ricketts, sends this into the box, but it's cleared out by the center back. I believe that was Logan Dula got his foot on that one, but the Toros maintain control here. Try it into the box again, a chance here, and it's kicked out of play. Nice play there by Walid Yakubu, known as Tulu, the defender there, kicking that ball away and giving up the corner.
That was a spectacular pass for Torres as well. Frank Lopez back in the lineup, and he shows what he can make happen. Breaks past the defense, puts himself in a good spot, and then uses that body to clear space. He is on this ball. If Tulu doesn't come around him and boot that away, it's Frank Lopez on Ota.
And here's another pass into the box quickly. Sent out by the defense. And now a shot from distance. I believe that was Hakeem O'Connor Ward, a recent signee out of Vienna, Virginia. Played his college ball at Cal State Fullerton. First shot of the game for the Toros, although it goes over. And now a chance now for Hartford. Pressure here by the Toros. That was Lopez from behind there trying to generate a turnover, but Athletic able to maintain possession. Johnson there on the left touch line. Sends it inside. And the Toros pressure able to generate a turnover. This pass intended for Lopez, it looks like. Lopez upended. And this will be the first free kick of the game.
Yeah, Tom Brewitt was standing right on top of Frank Lopez. And that's a good look at what makes Lopez such a dynamic forward. He gets into position, and look at it. He sits right on that where that ball is going to be, makes Brewitt play through his body. In the process of doing so, he draws the foul. And the Toros are going to have a look from a pretty good spot here at trying to cross something into the box. And that is all Frank Lopez making that happen. He goes to where the ball's going to go to, establishes position, locks in, and forces that defender to play through him and sets up a good opportunity for the Toros.
Yeah, Lopez had missed the last 6 games after playing in the first 15 and actually leads the team with 5 goals in all competitions, has one in the U.S. Open Cup. Here's Torres. Torres will give it a shot, and it's going to go over the bar. So the Toros have had 3 shots early on, all 3 from outside the box, and all 3 towering over the crossbar. Torres, a veteran mainstay on this team, a former U.S. international out of Longview, Texas, playing his 10th game as a Toro. 34 years old. But going back to Frank Lopez for just a moment, talk about him a little bit. I mean, this was a guy who was scoring in bunches early on in the season and then got kind of sidetracked. And what can we expect from him coming back?
Yeah, nearly unstoppable. And I think the real question to watch with Frank Lopez coming into this one is how aggressive is he able to be? Remember, he's been missed like 6 games due to injury, so he's still probably trying to work himself back into conditioning, work himself back into the pace of play. But if he gets some room to operate, as we've seen a couple of times here already early, he's not afraid to put the hammer down. And he's a very dynamic, tough player. And here's a breakaway for the Toros right here.
Yeah, here's a pass inside. That's a Lopez right there. And a shot. Oh, it's just wide. Just wide. And Lopez feels he could have done a little better with that. And again, you know, first game back in a while. But, boy, showing that magic we were just talking about.
Yeah, trying to shake the rust off. Lopez had that, and it was placed really nicely for him. You see what he's trying to do. He comes in and then tries to work his way right back out to get around Ota, and did not quite have the touch we saw earlier in the season. Still trying to get a feel for what he can do with the ball at his feet.
And apparently it was touched by the keeper as it's a Toros ball here. Sent it into the area, and it's headed out by the defense. Lewis trying to get control there for Hartford. Pressure by the Toros. And now a foul called, and this is going to be a free kick for Hartford. First one of the game for them.
Cabezas comes sliding in, trying to maintain possession. Ends up taking the legs out from under a Hartford Athletic, so we'll head back the other way.
So both teams with some terrific high percentage chances early on. We're still looking to capitalize. Long pass here, and Derek will come out for this one. This is against Obregon. And Derek lets it go out. It'll be goal kick for the Toros. Yeah, Lopez had 4 goals for the team in USL Championship play, 1 goal in U.S. Open Cup, giving him a team-high 5. The last game he played was back on June 11th. That was in Oakland, California, 2-2 draw.
He's such a tough matchup. When you get a look at Frank Lopez, he's got surprising speed for a player of his size. He just can flat race down the pitch. He's very physical. He's not afraid to really mix it up with the defenders. And that's what makes him just so scary. You don't want to be too physical with him for fear of getting a foul, but then when he's being physical right back at you and then can just about beat anyone in a flat-out foot race, it makes it really difficult to challenge him.
Toros tried to sit it into Ricky Ruiz, who was moving forward. Hartford thwarted that attack. Goes all the way back to Wahab Akwe, the right side of the defense for the Toros. He's out of Ghana, 25 years old. Started the majority of games this season for the Toros on that back line. Toros now trying to get it ahead. Johnson putting some pressure there, and a good defensive play there by Johnson to block that out of play. Toros will quickly put it back in play. It's thrown in by the newest Toro, Christian Pinzon. Here's a chance for Ward. Ward couldn't quite get his foot on. It's going to go out for a goal kick.
He was just waiting for an avenue to pass from. He was getting bumped, getting bumped, getting bumped. He was waiting for someone just to step out of that lane where he could cross something back in. But credit to the defense for Hartford. They just stood right there on his hip and did not give Henry room to operate. He just simply ran out of pitch to run on.
So the Toros continuing to apply some pressure here on Hartford's end of the pitch. It's been a successful formula for them in the early going. They've generated some turnovers and generated some opportunities. Hartford being more methodical. You know, Hartford comes in a team that averages about 50% of the game in terms of possession, so they're just as comfortable with the ball as without it. For the Toros, it's been kind of an interesting story, hasn't it, with possession?
Yeah, they can kind of work back and forth. Last season, we saw this to be a Toros team that liked to stand over the ball, but as far as record goes, the Toros may be a little bit better when they're not standing over the ball. So they're 2-0-1 when possession's below 40%, 4-1-1 when under 50. When they get above 50, they're just 3-10-3. So It may work to their advantage to allow Hartford to be the one in possession, get back on their defense, and start to just kind of challenge and counter.
And in the last 3 games, they have been over 50%, the Toros have. They have 1 draw and 2 losses in those 3. Back coming into tonight with 2 straight losses. Hartford enters the game with 3 consecutive losses. So both teams looking to reverse their fortunes here tonight.
I think if you're either side, coming away with a draw here feels like coming away with a loss. You want 3 points. This is a game where both teams probably circled on their calendar thus far and said, this is where we can get 3 points. We got to go out and get it.
Rickett sends it inside, gets a return pass from Ruiz. Now here's Torres. To the other side, that's Ward there. And then Ward's pass inside. Now center ball. Chance for Ruiz. Now here's Lopez. Lopez shot and a save made by Ota. 2 golden opportunities for Lopez here in the first 12 minutes. Ota's come up big twice.
It looks like all the Toros are pointing at Frank Lopez and saying, welcome back to the lineup, big guy. Here's a chance. And Ota just comes up and makes himself as wide as he possibly can. Lopez puts his hands up, says, I did everything with that I could. That was all Ota.
Ota's out of Munich, Germany, 6'2", 190 pound. Like one of those classic German keepers. Third corner kick at the early going here for the Toros. This is Torres. Inside, bounces out, a shot is deflected and goes out of play.
Corner headed for the Toros now. Looked like that one bounced pretty quickly off of a Hartford Athletic player. Didn't quite pick up who it is. We'll take another look right here. Looked like that may have been James Slayton. Can't be right. Slayton's not on the pitch. There we go. 28. Connor McGlynn stepped up big there. It's all 6'4" of him got in front of that and forced it out. So here is corner number 4 for the Toros.
McGlynn out of Middle Village, New York. And this is Torres again. Here's Ruiz. One touch it toward the net, blocked in front, and sent out of play. Derek coming halfway up the pitch to keep the ball alive there for the Toros so they can regenerate their offensive attack as quickly as possible.
That's called pressure. Pressure at its core. When you've got your keeper playing that far out of net, you're going for broke. We don't care if anything gets through. We're putting everybody as far forward as we can safely get them.
It's like total football. When you have the ball, all 11 players play offense. When you don't have it, all 11 play defense. It's Ruiz outside to Ricketts. And Ricketts moving into the middle, trying to get it to Ikaza, it looks like. Ikaza still on the move here. Forced to play it back, and they'll reverse it to the left side. Inside it goes to Cabezas. Cabezas wearing the captain's armband tonight for the Toros. Ricketts with a quick pass. Ruiz quickly returns it to him. But nothing inside for the Toros, and they'll play it back. Kind of a bad pass, actually, between two defenders and forced to go all the way back into their own end of the field.
Something interesting to watch also, Mark. Tyler Derrick has been playing well out of net for most of the first 15 minutes here. That speaks to the confidence that Wilmer Cabrera has, both in Derrick's ability to get back, but also in his team's ability to maintain possession when they need to. Because when your keeper is playing that far out of net, you're saying we don't expect the other team to be able to get a takeaway and counter quickly.
We saw Prepa break up a Toros attack. Hartford Athletic with possession once more. And now a foul call. This will be a free kick for Hartford. Hartford, their first season in the USL Championship was in 2019, a relatively new team. This is their fourth year. They've made the playoffs one time in their previous three. Toros in their seventh season, started in 2016. They made the playoffs twice, their inaugural year and then last year in 2021.
Both of those playoff pushes coming under Wilmer Cabrera. He was their coach in the first season and took his talents to the Houston Dynamo of MLS, now back with the Toros in his third season overall, second season consecutively.
Here's Lewis, sends it into the Toros end of the pitch. Now the ball being played by Ariel Martinez, right through the middle there. The return pass to Martinez, but too far ahead for him. He's trying to do the give and go with Beretta. And we see Lewis there out of Jamaica, one of four players from Jamaica on this Hartford roster. Comes in with 2 goals and 2 assists this season. The leading goal scorer for this Hartford team is Johnson, number 30. There at the bottom of your screen. Has 4 goals. Here's Lopez, another chance for him. Motors into the area, centers it, and is saved by the keeper. Nice defensive play there by Logan Dula. Dula's born not far from Hartford at Norwich. Was able to intercept Lopez's pass that was behind the attacker. And then Ota able to smother it. 18th minute now, no score. Seen good chances on both sides. Here's Ricketts. Marked closely there by Martinez. Cabezas will play it to Torres. And again, we're seeing the Toros being very aggressive, bringing their back line up across the half line in some places to get them involved in the offense.
That just puts more kits in attacking positions. You saw it last week when Eric Pimentel on the corner was able to get the lone goal for the Toros. So perhaps they look at this defense and say, well, we've got some pretty good scorers on the back line if we can get them mixed in.
Ricketts unable to catch up with that one. It'll be a goal kick for Hartford Athletic. Yeah, interestingly enough, the Toros, who did not get much offensive production out of their defenders last year, they have 10 goals from defenders, including Pimentel, whom you just mentioned. And they also have 10 from their forwards, and then 5 from midfielders, which is unusual. Usually you see a lot from the midfield. We were talking about Frank Lopez earlier. When Lopez was out the last 6 games, Toros won just 1 of those 6, losing 3, drawing 2.
already been a big part of the attack for the Toros in this one. He's had 2 golden opportunities. Just not quite able to finish, and that's something Hartford is probably keeping a pretty close eye on. There may have been a question coming in about how much he could contribute after that long stretch where he was not playing due to injury, but he comes back and says, nothing to worry about, guys. You got to get out here. You got to mark me. You're going to have to play me tight because I can make things happen.
Yeah, at the time Lopez got injured, he had 26 shots, which was among the league leaders in terms of shots. And we've seen tonight already with 2 excellent opportunities. Actually, a third opportunity that he tried to pass off to a teammate. But he is a man who has a nose for goals. Here's Johnson. He has a nose for goals with 4 for Hartford this year. Real versatile player. He can even play goal as well. Here's Lewis. Lewis was space to work with. It was kicked away from Prepa. Prepa's out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Lost control. Here's Ruiz. Ruiz from California. Played in Tennessee last year in USL League One, where he led the league in assists. We've got an injury now. Hartford player shaken up right at the midfield stripe.
They're going to beckon the trainer out right immediately. He's holding that right shin. He went down really quickly. Play continued for another good 15 to 20 seconds. I believe that's Ariel Martinez in the midfield.
And Martinez from Cuba, 36 years old. 1 goal, 1 assist this year.
Both teams rush to also get a little hydration in the meantime. See a quick conversation there with Danny Barrera with the official. I think he's trying to explain what occurred in the midfield. See, Martinez comes over, and he just goes nose to nose with Cabezas there. It looked like he may have been tripped prior to making contact with Cabezas.
Yeah, he seemed to be falling down, and Cabezas actually kind of took a shot on the chin there a little bit, but appeared to be okay. And Martinez looks a little better now. This Hartford team, we mentioned player from Jamaica, Martinez here from Cuba. They have players from 13 different countries on their roster. It's quite a cosmopolitan group.
Looks like they're going to send Martinez off just a moment before he restarts.
Almost halfway through the first half now. No score as yet. Tyler Derrick, 33 years old, in goal for the Toros, former Houston Dynamo player. Won a U.S. Open Cup with the Dynamo. Has 2 clean sheets this season. Ball played back to Akwi. Akwi was out of Ghana, playing his 21st game this season. Missed only 1 game all year. Long pass inside. Johnson pokes it out. Looks like Ikaze able to keep that from going out. Toros will continue their attack here. Inside to Cabezas. Quick turnaround. Akwi coming up from his center back spot. Puts a little pressure on the defense here. Nice intercept there by Dula.
And very wisely, Dula just tips that out. He had Ricketts breathing down his neck, and rather than risking giving that up, just sends it out, allows his defense to get back into a better attacking position.
You allow your team to get settled. See the coaches for Hartford Athletic. Their original coach this season, Coach Harry Watling, resigned about a month ago. Had some personal issues back in his native England.
Started his 2nd season with the program. He was quite a get for them for the head coaching position. Had managed academy teams for Chelsea, Millwall, and West Ham United.
The Hammers.
Known as quite a development type of coach. That's why he spent so much time with academy teams.
Ruiz inside back heel, but picked up by Atta. Nice idea there by Lopez, who's just has a complete magician's bag of tricks. Just never know what he's going to do.
He almost got that to Ricketts. That had just a little too much spin to it, so it ends up working back to Otta. But had that laid a little more flat, Ricketts was in a good spot to just drive.
Johnson sees the ball go out. It'll be Hartford Athletic throw in. Lewis taps it to his teammate McGlynn. McGlynn had the only goal for the Hartford team last week in the 2-1 loss to Pittsburgh. Ball kicked out by Ricketts. Doing the same thing we saw Dula do a moment ago, just giving his defense a chance to get caught up and get into position. Dula sends it inside and intercepted there by Derek. Kind of went off the foot of Ricketts. And Derek saved it from going out and conceding the corner kick. Ruiz trying to win the ball against Brewitt. Brewitt leads the team in interceptions. So you'll see him being aggressive going after that ball. There, Lopez is able to win a free kick here for his team.
He gets mixed up there with Tulu. Tulu a little too physical, kind of peels him off the ball and draws the foul.
Here's O'Connor Ward, playing just his 7th game as a Toro. Ball worked back to Torres now. Torres out of Longview, 34 years old. The veteran mainstay in that midfield for this team. Ikaza now. Ikaza, who has 4 goals but hasn't scored since June. Tied for the team lead with Lopez, who has 4 in USL Championship. We mentioned 5 in all competitions. And also with 4 is Robert Coronado, who is on the bench tonight. You may see him in the second half. But none of those guys have scored recently. Lopez hasn't scored since April. Kaza not since June 1st. Coronado scored the most recently. That was June 11th. So they've been sitting on 4 goals for quite a while. This is Ward, guarded by Bedetta. Gets rid of it, goes to Cabezas now. Inside, Ikaza, one touches it to Lopez, but it's broken up. Chance here, here's Ruiz. Weaving through 2 players, nice shot! And that goes over. Alta had to go to full extension on that.
And Ricky Ruiz, like a magician, now you see me, now you don't. Fakes right, chips left. Gets himself into a pretty good spot, about dead square in front of the net, maybe 2 or 3 feet outside of the box. Dials up that big left foot, floats it just a little. Toro's not afraid to take that ball deep this evening. We've seen it several times here in the first half. They've just yet to put one of those deep ones on net.
Yeah, we mentioned Alta being coming from a country that's well known for producing quality goalkeepers. You think back to Sepp Maier back in the 70s, their World Cup team. Schumacher back in the 80s, and then Oliver Kahn, the early 2000s. All World Cup keepers for the German national team. 28th minute now, almost 2/3 through the first half. Burrow's trying to get through here. Hartford putting on a little bit of defensive pressure. Johnson heads that out. And it'll be Toro's throw in now. Pretty humid out there. You saw that shot of Ruiz a moment ago. This kit was soaked all the way through. Here's Ricketts. He'll send it into the area. The chance here for Pinzon. Shot blocked in front. Johnson with it now, able to clear it into safety.
That ball had a little pinball to it, bouncing around off of Athletic. Just could not get it to land down perfectly. Pinzon had 2 pretty good looks at it, just neither one could squirt through the defense. And a quick shot taken there by Torres, but it bounces off the back of Prepa. Here come the Toros once again on a throw-in.
Yeah, Pinzon out of Bellflower, California. Just signed from a team he was playing on the 2nd tier in Liga Mexico. Here's Acque. Aquay inside, and an easy catch there for the keeper, Ota.
It looked like Aquay was trying to find maybe Emilio Yakaza, who was streaking in from the left. But Ota steps up and just picks that one away before Yakaza has a chance to get to it.
Lewis brings it into the attacking into the pitch for Hartford. Throw set up there. McGlynn plays it. Lewis taps it to McGlynn, who sends it over to the right. Hartford content to play keep away here for the moment.
I don't think that's a bad decision. The Toros have been taking it to you in a pretty dynamic manner, just applying pressure and pushing. Playing keep away for a minute if you're Hartford, it's not a bad idea. Give yourself a chance to breathe, regroup defensively. And you see right here, Torres picks up that ball, sends it try to wide, and Pinzon, in the process of maintaining possession, ends up drawing the foul.
Pinzon, just 24 years old. It's the 47th pick in the 2021 MLS Super Draft by the Chicago Fire. Had a pretty good career in college at Cal State Fullerton with 14 goals, 7 assists in his 3 years there. Here's McGlynn. Over to the right side. This is Johnson here on the overlap. Johnson will pop it into the box. He's trying to get it to his teammate Prepa, but too far for him. It'll be a goal kick here for the Rio Grande Valley Toros.
And then on both sides tonight, it seems like they're just still trying to get comfortable with where to place that ball. Prepa was coming out and kind of coming wide to the wing there. They tried to drop that at about the 5-yard mark in the box and give him a chance to curl back in. But that was placed a little too far wide, and he just could not get there.
Long pass intended for Lopez. Broken up by Tulu. Here's another opportunity. This is Lopez against Tulu. It goes out of play, and it's going to be another corner here for the Toros. It'll be their 5th of the game.
It's a very nice opportunity there for Tulu to show his ability defensively. Frank Lopez, not new to the game of soccer, sees that Tulu's going to get there and poke that away. Rather than continuing to challenge, to perhaps have that flick off of him, he just stops and allows that to scoop out. So Tulu does what he needs to do defensively, toe-to-toe with Lopez, and just clears it away.
This will be Torres taking the corner kick. He's taking them all so far tonight. It's going to be an out swinger. Aquay able to get a header on that, just over the crossbar. Good opportunity there for the Toros, but it'll be a goal kick here for Hartford.
Jose Torres places that really nicely. Aquay timed his jump really well. That was about as expected of a good attempt you could find. Timed perfectly, placed perfectly. Aquay gets that just a little high off his head, however, that carries out rather than being able to push it down.
Stands 6 feet tall. Did a good job getting position there to able to deflect that ball toward the net. It's a throw in here for Hartford Athletic. Hartford Athletic and Rio Grande Valley are both in 10th place, but if they were in the same group together, the Toros would actually be 8 points ahead of them. Kind of speaks to the competitiveness of the two groups, doesn't it?
Yeah, the West is much more tightly packed. The East is pretty top-heavy. You've got a couple of really strong teams, Tampa Bay Rowdy among them, that just kind of running away with the East. The West, really, anyone is in it. Toros are 6 points out of the final playoff spot. That's just 2 wins. Hartford on the other side finds themselves about 11 points out. So they've got some major things to occur if they're going to get themselves back in the playoff push.
And I think we see a yellow card issued to Brewitt here. We see the foul right there. You saw Ikaza tried to continue. I think the Toros were arguing for the advantage call. Why didn't the referee allow them the advantage, the opportunity to continue with the attack? Nevertheless, a free kick here for the Toros. Here's Ricketts. Little through ball into the area for Lopez. Lopez trying to get around Brewitt. Not quite able to do so, and it's going to be goal kick. Boy, exciting things happen when he gets the ball.
You get it to Frank Lopez, you get it at his feet. Even when he's got his back to the net, he can do some really nice things just with that quick movement, the quick turn of his hip. And that time he was in a good spot. The defense just kind of trapped him in a triangle, no place to move. And then as he's trying to get turned around and put a play on that, it looked like he may have kind of stepped on the ball awkwardly, took his feet out from under him. Took a pretty hard tumble just out of bounds. Got up for a second, took a couple steps, but now he's back down. They're going to beckon the training staff out to take a look.
And he looks like he's in a lot of pain there.
See right here, they've got that little triangle built. He's trying to come forward. See, he misses, and then that leg gets wrapped out from under him, and he comes down pretty hard on that right hip. The look on his face, he's hurting. Once again, he's moving forward. Brewitt's right there. As his plant foot, his left foot is just kind of tangled with Brewitt. Wild swing of that right foot, doesn't make contact, and then he's just wide open for a lot of hard contact right on that right hip as he goes down.
A hard fall there, kind of an awkward fall as well. Brewitt a moment ago picking up his fourth yellow of the season. First booking of this match for anybody. And team's taking a hydration break here with about a little over 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Here we see Tulu. He's out of Togo in West Africa. Stands 6'2", 183 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at our 50-50. Now at 320.
Didn't see a substitution yet for Frank Lopez, so it looks like he's going to stay in. He's just making that lonely, long walk back over to the line official. He can be beckoned back in when he's ready.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be limping or anything like that. Coach Cabrera, in his third year as head coach of the Toros. Coached at the MLS level as well with Montreal. From Colombia. In fact, he played on the Colombia national team back in the World Cup in 1998. Back underway here.
Frank Lopez comes back in now. You see him number 9 slipping back in.
For 11v11 once more. Long pass intended for Lewis will go out. It'll be goal kick here for the Toros now. Here in minute 36. It's Pimentel. Pimentel having the only goal for the Toros last week. A 2-1 loss to the San Diego Loyal. It's the second meeting between San Diego and the Toros, so the two teams split their two meetings this year, each getting 2-1 victories on home soil. Now another Toro player is shaken up.
There's Ricky Ruiz. He took a pretty hard strike to the back as he was trying to get possession there.
Ruiz out of Lake Elsinore, California. I mentioned he played in Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee with the Red Wolves last year in USL League One. And in fact, that man Ricketts, number 20, also played for Chattanooga last year, both coming to the Toros this season. Toros on the attack, Cabezas over to Ruiz. Now back to the team captain. Cabezas, 31 years old, out of Colombia. Sends it into the area. Here's Icaza with it. Icaza will chip it and intercepted there by Ota. Good anticipation there by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Ota has been challenged a couple times on the evening. He's done a really nice job in net. Read that really nicely. Because if he doesn't come out to challenge that, it's one-on-one with Frank Lopez once again. Lopez was in a great spot to take that had Ota not collected it out of the air.
Toros put on some pressure, force Hartford into a bad pass, and the Toros on the attack here once again. Here in the late going of the first half, Icaza will send it over to the left side. O'Connor Ward is there. Puts a little bit of pressure on the defense as he drives in closer. Quick passing, now here's Torres. All the way to Ricketts as the Toros spread the field. Ricketts trying to beat the second defender. That was Dula. Couldn't quite get past him, and it ends up as a free kick here for the visitors.
I think Dula got the worst of that. He and Ricketts go one-on-one, shoulder to shoulder. Dula's back to his feet pretty quickly and back into position.
Dula just 25 years old. You mentioned he's from Norwich. Alta, who making his 12th appearance this year, or excuse me, his 8th appearance. James Slayton has also played a lot in goal this year for Hartford. Slayton, though, not on the pitch here tonight. Sam Howard is the backup keeper. He has yet to make an appearance this year for Hartford. Toros on the move as Ikaza will send this in. There's a couple of Toros there. Pinzon, the newest player on this team, chases it down. Johnson marks him. Pinzon chips it into the box. A touch on net is knocked over the bar by Alta. Wow, Ruiz there with a golden opportunity and a terrific save. Best one of the match here so far by Alta.
You see Ruiz just kind of shakes his head for a moment, knowing that was a prime opportunity. It didn't find the back of the net, but Ruiz actually does a really nice job with this. He times it nicely, gets it off that inside plant foot. Nice little touch chip, but Alta pushes it up and out.
Another corner kick here for the Toros. They put it back in play. O'Connor Ward puts it in. There's a header on net and an easy save there for the keeper. But boy, the Toros are able to start generating some shots here, and that's first way to get goals is to get shots. And they've got 11 shots with 3 on net here in this first half. Still 5 minutes and change remaining in the first half. Hartford on the move here. Hartford had a beautiful opportunity in the game's opening 60 seconds. Been mostly quiet on the offensive end since then. Neither of these teams have lit it up a lot this year. The Hartford comes in with 22 goals. They're tied for 22nd in the league. The Toros with 25 total goals. They're tied for 18th in scoring. This is Ricketts. Back to Cabezas. The Glenn came out to mark him. Quick pass to Ruiz, who's able to get it over to Pinzon on the left side. Pinzon trying to work his way around Johnson. Johnson sticking with him. Second defender came in, so now O'Connor Ward will give it a try. He'll send it in over the net and a little too far for Ruiz to chase that one down.
The Toros stretching and stretching, trying to find some room to operate. And a couple good digs at that. Just could not get a breakthrough against that defense to find a cross toward the middle. See Pinzon just tries to float some to the other side looking for Ruiz. Had a little too much on that. I'll carry out Dula for the throw in.
So Connor Ward with that chip into the box. It went too far. He was the 14th pick in the 2019 MLS Super Draft by DC United. Played by Pimentel. Straight up, Akwe is able to head it. And right there to Torres. Torres with a good settle and a good pass here to Lopez. Lopez will send it into the box. It's popped into safety there by Prepa. Just over 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's Ikaza trying to slice his way between two defenders. He goes down in a heap. Referee close by says no foul there. Lewis trying to get turned. He'll find his teammate. That's Martinez. Martinez out of Cuba. Got shaken up earlier. Seems okay now. Torres with a nice tackle from behind. Referee says play on. Pinzon with it. Pinzon against Martinez. Inside Lopez, little one touch there. Cabezas, he'll give it a go. Blocked in front. Ruiz now with it, and there's a whistle. And this is going to be a free kick in a dangerous position here for the Toros. Toros have a player shaken up.
That's Frank Lopez once again, and it's that same ankle side that was giving him issues after that hard tumble. You see, Prepa was right on his hip. Prepa wagged his finger right away and says, no, I didn't foul him. Official sees it quite differently. As Frank Lopez was standing over the ball. See Brewitt right there trying to make his argument. What are we supposed to do?
Five fouls called on Hartford so far, only 3 on the Toros.
Now you'll see official steps off that 10 steps. Closest that line can be to the free kick is those 10 steps. So Hartford's going to set up that long wall. And that's basically point-blank range, center of the field for the Toros.
Yeah, these are always tough for keepers because they don't know if you're going to go to the left or right side of the goal.
See, Hartford's going to put Dula in net as well. And Dula can't use his hands, but he can use every inch of his body but that. Just like that, Ota sends him out and says, no, why don't you go help out on that front line? I'll take care of what's going on in the net.
5 men in the wall. There's Ikaza. Ikaza steps over. Torres shoots, and a save made by Ota. It was Torres who ultimately shot and got what he wanted. He targeted that right corner, the keeper's right. You see it again here.
Placed beautifully, and Ota read that really well. That's a difficult play in net. If you're Ota, don't let it get past you and make it look as easy as he made it look. He can't see that ball until it's through that back line, so he has a split second to make a decision and try to collect that ball. He guessed right and was in the right spot to challenge.
It's a chip by Martinez into the box, headed out by Aquay. Headed back in by Beretta. Chance for Obregon, shot blocked right in front by Aquay, then cleared out. 3 minutes to be added here to the end of the first half. So still a chance for both teams to grab one before they head to the locker room. Orals will have the throw in here. Send it all the way over to Ruiz. Try to head it back to Ricketts. Ricketts able to keep it from going out. Aquay will press forward, trying to stretch the defense a little bit. Here getting turned is Lopez. Lopez with acres of space and shot a little too much mustard on it, goes over. You know, you're right, Brian, with that free kick where Ota had to make the save a moment ago, and he doesn't see the ball till after it crosses past the wall. He basically has to guess, doesn't he? He has to kind of read the body language, I guess, of the kicker and figure out, okay, is he aiming left or right, and then dive accordingly.
And that's why you see the cross there. Ikaza comes forward as if he's going to kick. You're hoping that the keeper keeps an eye on Ikaza and is following him, and then Torres comes on the other side and can move the attack the other direction. That time Ota read it pretty well, because he can't do much. Once that ball's through the line, it's basically on him. He guessed to the right, and he guessed correctly.
And still tied up here in stoppage time of the first half. Ricketts sends it back to his keeper, Derek. Obregon closing in. And it forces Derek into a pass that was almost intercepted, but a bad first touch there by Martinez, and the Toro was able to retain possession.
Of course, we don't have a mic on the field that we can hear, but going back to that stop by Ota, a lot of times what you'll trust if you're the keeper is you'll trust your wall in front of you to read that out to you and say pass, 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 if that first attacker is not the one kicking the ball, and that tells you, okay, I don't need to follow Ikaza across, and you wait for strike, 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 and that tells you which player made the move the other way. Presumably, that's probably what helped Ota there. He had somebody out there on the field that can see what's going on, calling out to him where the attack would be coming from.
Hartford try to work it in close. McGlynn now to Lewis. Lewis able to get turned. We'll find Dula. Dula all the way up from his defensive role. Sends it into the box where it's kicked out of play by Pimentel. That comes Hartford. Only about 20 seconds left here in stoppage time. One more opportunity here for the Hartford Athletic. Martinez loses control to Ikaza. Now it's at Lopez's foot. Outside to Pinzon, and the Toros will start another attack. Ikaza on the overlap. Looking inside, will send it into the box. There's Ruiz, a little header, and a shot, and tipped over the bar. That was Cabezas with the shot. Another big save by Ota.
That was placed beautifully by Cabezas, and Ota, with all the pressure in the world on his shoulders in that moment. Look at the leap, times it beautifully. Cabezas puts a nice kick on that, and Ota beautiful job to push that over, and that's going to do it for the first half. What a dynamic way to end it.
Yeah, that was terrific highlight reel material there at the end, and Ota kind of the first half's MVP, if they gave such awards at this point. No corner kick there. He let it off over the crossbar, but the official blew the half dead, and that's where we are, is halfway through this match, tied 0-0 at the break. And we're going to be back with some, find out what's going around the USL, also some halftime highlights and halftime stats coming your way. Right now you're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on, what are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Join the pack! Your RGVFC Toros are back at HB Park and ready to take on the Las Vegas Lights this Sunday, July 17th at 6:30 p.m. Presented by Science Pharmacy. Arrive early. First 1,000 fans get a free t-shirt by Science Pharmacy. Don't miss out on an action-packed summer with the Toros. Enjoy great food, delicious drinks, and fun with friends and family this season. Get your tickets at rgvfc.com or at HEB Park box office.
And welcome back to HEB Park here in Edinburgh, Texas. Mark May with Brian Smith. Time now for our halftime report. Brian?
Special thanks to our halftime sponsor, Live Oak Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the RGV Toros. Lots of action in week number 20 across the USL. Let's take a look at that week 20 recap.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
I'm on that routine. Routine.
And there's a look at your Week 20 Team of the Week, led by Player of the Week, Milan Olaski from Orange County. What a week he had. He gets voted Player of the Week after scoring 2 goals and throwing 2 assists to lead the championship title holders to a 5-2 victory over LA Galaxy 2 in the 405 Derby last Saturday night. It's the second time Olaski's won that award this season, and to boot, he's the first player in Orange County history to score both 2 goals and 2 assists in one single match. Good look at him right there, as well as a couple pretty big names for the top 5 teams in the USL. As you see, Louisville City has Perez, 2 from the Tampa Bay Rowdies, Dos Santos and Fernandez. Other 2 teams among the top 5 teams to make the list for this week are Tampa Bay San Antonio, Louisville City, San Diego Loyal, and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Tampa Bay's a big team in the USL. They've been top of the East for a couple of years now, and they've got some big news coming up for them as well, as they just recently signed a multi-year agreement to take over as the primary tenant of that soccer complex they're playing in Tampa. It's quite a complex. It was the host of the 2021 USL Academy playoffs and will become their primary location for the Rowdies in 2023. So congratulations to Tampa Bay as they lock up a home for a while there in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they've been the league finalist representing the East each of the last 2 seasons. 2 years ago, they had to cancel the final due to COVID, and then last year they were on the losing end, kind of an upset really against Orange County.
Yeah, so the big performance for Tampa Bay. They're a big performer in the USL. They'll look to continue their push toward that USL East Championship. They find themselves at the top of the standings currently. San Antonio leading the West.
And I think are there any scores tonight? I think Birmingham and Loudoun are already underway in a couple of games on the West Coast this evening.
Yeah, 4 games total. Birmingham's got the 4-1 lead over Loudoun right now. They are in the 67th minute. You know what's going on here between Rio Grande Valley and Hartford. 2 matches to look at later this evening, kicking off in about 10 minutes. Oakland hosts Phoenix, and then 30 minutes later, San Antonio makes a trip out to the desert. They'll face Las Vegas.
Let's take a look at our schedules, starting with the Hartford Athletic, and what have they got coming up?
So quite a few matches up here. They're going to go back and forth. They are home for the next one. That's July 30th. They'll face Birmingham. Then they're going to host Memphis 901 to start the month of August. 2 games on home after that, Indy 11 and Miami FC. Then toward the end of the month, they hit the road one last time, August 24th. They'll be at FC Tulsa. The other side for the Toros, how about this road trip they've got coming up? They're on the road for the next 6 weeks after this one. Next 5, August 8th. At Sacramento FC, then they'll head to San Antonio, out to Las Vegas, out to Phoenix, and then out to El Paso. Then
and those are all tough teams, aren't they?
Yeah, top teams in the West. It's a long road to battle for the Toros before they're going to come home. 6 weeks on the road, and they'll be back at home on the 9th of September.
Yeah, September 10th, actually, against New Mexico United here at HEB Park, and that's a long way from now, as, they've got a gauntlet coming up there. So we can take a look at the standings in Group West, and you'll see what we're talking about. The Toros in 10th place right now. It's the top 7 that go into the playoffs, so 7 is the magic number. And what are the Toros there near the bottom? What do they have in front of them?
Yeah, so they've got to pick up 6 points just to tie the team currently in 7th. That is Sacramento, who has the tiebreaker over LA Galaxy, who's currently sitting in 8th. So on those 5 matches, if the Toros can pick up 6-7 points, that can do a lot to kind of help themselves creep back up toward that top 7, but they need some things to happen. Specifically, you'd love to see some losses from Las Vegas or in Sacramento to keep them within striking distance of the Toros. That's going to be a pivotal road trip. If the Toros go 5 games and they can't pick up 5, 6, 7 points, it could do a lot to really force them to be into a desperate situation going down the final stretch.
All right, 0-0 here at the break. Let's take a look at some highlights when we come back. Right now, you're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
When we said Reliant offers free flex days, we had something a little different in mind. Get the flexibility of free electricity on your 2 highest use days every week with the Reliant Truly Free Flex Days plan. That's up to 8 free days a month. So go on. What are you waiting for? We'll even upgrade your plan to solar. On us. Reliant. That's power. Your way.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. We got 3 chicken strips topped with Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy and then it's spicy and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly.
My goodness.
I can see myself eating this every time I come here.
They're gonna go crazy for this thing. The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. That's back, and it's only for a limited time.
A lot of stuff from the first half. Brian, take us through the highlights.
So plenty of scoring opportunities on both sides. Very early on, Hartford had a pretty good strike. Take a look at here. This is the first 60 seconds. Full extension there. Tyler Jarrett takes it away. After that, it's all Toros. Frank Lopez just misses on that breakaway. Look on his face. He knows that was close. Lopez once again. Ulta comes out, sends that one away. Lopez says, what do I have to do? Jose Torres drops that beautifully. Aqui with the head. Floats it just a little bit. Here's Pinzon. Nice job chipping this one forward. Soft touch by Ruiz, but he carries just a little bit high. And then here is that point-blank kick. Nice attack there. Yakaza goes one way, Torres goes the other. Ulta picks it up, puts in a good spot. And right before halftime, Captain Cabezas takes a big strike there. Ulta again times his leap well, sends it over. And here are your stats. And look at that, 17 shots, 6 of which were on target for the Toros in the first half. 2 shots by Hartford, only 1 on target. Toros, we said, do pretty well when they are under 50% time of possession. They're currently at 60 in this one. They are the aggressors. They're taking control. They're getting all the shots. Just have not found the back of the net. 1 card in the first half. That was a yellow issued to Tom Brewitt. And that is it for your rough stats here in the first half. So, Mark, I think if you're Rio Grande Valley, you're happy with about everything you've seen out there, except for the ability to put something in the back of the net.
Yeah, this is kind of like their last home game against the Las Vegas Lights, which they lost that game 1-0. Las Vegas getting a goal in the first half, and then it was pretty much the Toros the last 2/3 of the game as they just peppered the goal with shots, and we saw the Las Vegas keeper make save after terrific save and preserve that 1-0 win that the Toros kind of dominated. And that's the way soccer goes sometimes, is you can end up losing games like that. And so far tonight, they can't get one past the keeper, Alta.
Yeah, stat to watch in this one, as you mentioned, last time out against Las Vegas, they set a season high with 27 shots. They are well within reach of that tonight against Hartford. Hoping for a little different turnaround, though, as you'd like to see them get that same number of shots or more, but tack onto that some goals.
Yeah, 17 shots in the first half. That is amazing, with 6 on target and 6 saves for Alta, which, by the way, the season high for Hartford is 7 saves. That was against Detroit City back on April 23rd, so we'll probably surpass that here tonight. Be interesting to see what Hartford does differently to try to A, stymie the Toros attack a little bit, and B, generate some offense of their own. This is a team that comes in on a 3-game losing streak, and they only had 2 shots in the first half. They certainly want more.
Yeah, and part of that is they just did not have the ball at their feet. 60% possession for the Toros. That's a spectacular number if you're a team that wants to control the ball, which the Toros at times have been exactly that, a team that wants to stand over the ball. The question is, do you want to expel that high amount of energy fighting to maintain possession, fighting to stay on the attack? If you're not getting the type of scoring opportunities you want, you may see the Toros back off the ball here in the second half, allow Hartford to control it a little bit more, see what comes of it. Coming in now for Hartford to open this one is going to be Apollon. He is going to replace Prepa. Additionally, coming into this one, Ariel Martinez is going to take a seat. Prince Sadi comes in for Hartford. Substitution also for Rio Grande Valley As you see, Robert Coronado will come on to the pitch.
And I think Cabezas may have been the one that come off, because I see Pimentel is now wearing the captain's armband there on the right side of the screen. It was Cabezas wearing the captain's armband in the first half.
I believe you're right, Mark. I don't see Cabezas out there on the pitch to open this one.
And he was the one that had that beautiful shot right at the end, just before the officials whistled.
So that could be a pretty strong tactical move for Rio Grande Valley. Cabezas is a midfielder. Coronado's a forward. So if you stick to that marketing and you assume that Coronado is going to play in his natural position, the Toros will now have 3 forwards on the pitch to open the second half. That speaks to a team that wants to get out and they want to get some more shots on.
So a team that evidently feels confident about the way their defense is playing. Wants to bolster the offense just a little bit, trying to break this 0-0 draw we have here as we start the second half. Teams have switched ends. Hartford in blue and Rio Grande Valley in white. This is the first ever meeting between these two. They rest about 2,100 miles apart. Hartford competing in Group East, and of course the Toros in Group West. Here's Johnson with it, leading goal scorer for Hartford. Has some space here. Try to get it inside, but it's kicked away. But there's Beretta, keep it in play. And here's Dula. Dula with a nice little move. Now has 2 markers and had it kicked away from him. Oh, Pinzon kind of shaken up there. Couldn't quite get control of the ball. No foul call, but it'll be a throw in for the Toros. By the way, it was Torres who was able to work the ball away to regain possession for the Toros a moment ago. Pimentel plays it up for Pinzon. Pinzon, the newest Toro, had some opportunities on the wing in the first half. And here's another opportunity here for Hartford, coming out more aggressive here to start this second half. Into the box, and Derek, the nice little scoop right there. He had to kind of wait. He had Obregon who running interference in front of him.
And City placed that beautifully, the new substitute in for Hartford, and he's off to the races. Drops that nicely right for Obregon. Tyler Derrick read that even better. Perhaps the biggest challenge he's had on the evening.
Chip pass intended for the new sub in there, Prince Sadie, playing in there at forward. He's out of Liberia. Ball goes all the way back to Lewis now. Lewis, I think, wants to get it to his keeper, but Lopez there waiting to intercept and pounce on that ball. So Lewis thinks better of it, and he'll push it forward. Sadie with a one-touch pass. Trying to get it to his teammate. That's Apollon, who just came into the game as well. He's out of Haiti. 5 players from the Caribbean on this Hartford team. 4 from Jamaica, 1 from Haiti. Actually 6. They also have a Cuban in Ariel Martinez. This is Ruiz. Ruiz had a couple of good opportunities there in the first half. He'll send this one forward. This is Coronado into the box. There's a chance here for the Toros. Trying to get turned is Lopez. Lopez looking for a chance, and here it is. And Pinzon can't quite get to it. Lopez centered the ball, and then it was touched forward to Pinzon, who couldn't quite gain control there, but a good opportunity there for the home team.
And you can see Hartford just holding their breath right there. A couple of good looks for the Toros. Lopez almost had one before the play was broken up. Has to pull it back. Soft touch there. Ruiz touching for Pinzon. Just could not find him. And you see Pinzon right there slaps the turf. That was a good opportunity. He could have just gotten a step or 2 forward.
Yeah, Pinzon had to wait, just hesitate just a little bit so he could stay on side. And that may have prevented him from catching up with the ball. Here's a whistle. This will be a free kick here for Hartford. Saw Hartford's schedule with 3 of their next 4 at home and playing Birmingham this Saturday. A chance for them to avenge an earlier season loss. They lost to Birmingham 2-1 back on April 10th. That was in Alabama. But Glenn puts this in play. Up alone with it, with 2 markers. Ruiz pops it away from him, but Lewis is there. Now Brewitt. Brewitt playing with a yellow card he picked up in the first half. Long pass intended for Sadie, trying to keep it from going out. Did he keep it in? He does not. Flag goes up. Sadie, who's 5'11", 161 pounds, out of Liberia, just 29 years old. 2 goals and 3 assists. Another chance here. This is Bedetta. Bedetta leads the team with chances created. He's good at setting up his teammates. Goes to McGlynn. Now on the right side is Johnson. Now Dula. 2 markers closed on him. He's forced to play it back. Got a Toro player kind of injured at midfield.
It's Frank Lopez. He took kind of an awkward step for a moment, immediately reaches up and asks for a substitution from his side and takes a seat. With him down, they will blow this one dead. Out comes the trainer. I don't know if Lopez is going to stay out, though. He very quickly pointed over to his bench and did those rotating arms and said, "Get me a sub."
Had some great opportunities in the first half. Also shaken up quite a few times in the first half as well. And probably still has some lingering effects from his earlier injury that kept him out of 6 games.
He's got the shoe off that right foot. He's walking off right now.
Saw the good sportsmanship there by Hartford as they played the ball out so Lopez could be attended to. And what usually happens in these situations is the opposing team will pay the favor right back. They'll put it in play and then deliberately send the ball toward the other side. See there, the Toros kick it downfield, and it'll be Hartford's ball once again. Here's Tulu with it. McGlynn out of New York, able to get turned. Then forced to chase this one down.
Toros playing 1 man down right now. They did not get a substitution in for Frank Lopez before that was back in action. Looks like waiting to check in is Gaviria for the Toros if we can get a stoppage. Till then, it behooves Hartford to keep the ball in play because they are playing 1 man up.
Yeah, I was looking on the pitch. I didn't see another sub come in. Quickly counted, and you're right, 10 players out there for the Toros as Johnson keeps this one alive. Or did he? No, they're going to say that it went just out, so now the new sub can come in.
There he is. Frank Gaviria replaces Frank Lopez. Gaviria, 6 foot, 21-year-old out of Colombia. He's had a couple starts over the last couple of games for the Toros. He's a dynamic forward. A great addition to the roster. Wilmer Cabrera likes the size, also likes his ability to make things happen. See if he can do something here in the second half.
Yeah, this is his 7th appearance as a Toro. Spins on, makes a pass over to the right side. Goes to the feet of Icaza. Icaza now to Coronado. A shot is tipped over the bar. First big opportunity here in the second half. And I thought Ota had tipped it over, but maybe he did not get a glove on it. So it'll be a goal kick.
There's that new substitute, Gaviria, just 21. He's had a couple of pretty good looks on the season.
Yeah, no goals for him, but you're right. He does create some havoc and some excitement there in the penalty box. Hartford on the move here. Opening 10 minutes here of the second half. Both teams hoping for a win tonight, needing to move up their respective ladders in the standings. Pass ahead to Sadie. At his pocket picked there by Ricketts. And Toros have the ball back. Torres gets it ahead to Icaza with acres of space to work with. He'll find Pinzon. Pinzon will close inside. Trying to draw a defender. Now Gaviria slides it to Coronado. A shot blocked in front. That was Ruiz's attempt. Goes back to Ruiz. He'll take another shot, and it's just wide of the far post.
Looked like that might have been redirected. The official says no. You see Ruiz has his hands up. He's like, that was off someone. Official says, no, it wasn't. That's going to give the ball back to Hartford. We'll take a strike right here. I think Ruiz tries to make the argument that he makes that kick, that immediately deflects off of the forearm of a Hartford athletic. But either way, quick takeaway now for the Toros, and they're back on the attacking side.
So their game plan they had in the first half that produced 17 first half shots. They put on some pressure, like a full court press, and able to get control of the ball on Hartford's end of the field. Chance here is Gaviria. Plays it over to Pinzon. He's got Ward to his right. Pinzon going to the touchline. There's a shot. And just goes wide once again. It's a nice little one-touch opportunity there. That was Coronado. Coronado, who's tied for the team lead with 4 goals out of La Habra, California.
Right on top of Coronado, you see you've got Icaza and Gaviria both in a spot. Gaviria, in fact, was probably in a position he could have redirected that with his head, but it was just a little behind him. And a prime opportunity for Rio Grande Valley that comes to naught.
Alta had 6 saves in the first half. 57th minute now. No score as yet. And here we've got a foul called.
That's going to lead to a yellow against Eric Pimentel. Really physical defense there. So it puts Danny Borrera on the pitch. Hartford asks for a foul, and the official says you can have that and a card. A yellow card issued to Eric Pimentel. First yellow card on a Toro in this one.
That's Pimentel's 5th booking of the season. Just the 4th foul called against the Toros in this game. It was Juan Carlos Obregon who was upended and drew the whistle. So looks like it'll be taken by Lewis. They're going to put 8 players forward. Hartford trying to generate a shot, unable to do so, but able to maintain possession. See what they can do. Lewis will circle back to give players an opportunity to get in position again. They'll start the attack once more. Yula had some pressure, takes no chances, plays it back to Ota. Ota started the last several games for Hartford. Has played pretty well, although they coming off a loss 2-1 their last game to Pittsburgh. Dula plays it back. Then Tulu plays it up to McGlynn. Hartford's defense playing a lot better tonight. This is a team that's given up 8 goals in their last 3 games, all of them losses. In fact, their last win was June 28th. That was a 2-0 win over Colorado Springs, of all teams, one of the top teams in the league. Hartford just put everything together that night. Toros also looking for their first win tonight since the month of June. They've coming in on a 5-game winless streak. 0-3-2. 2 players collide. Looks like Ricketts and Apollon. Referee has his card out. This is going to be on Ricketts.
Ricketts trying to stand his ground there, toe-to-toe with Apollon. And he's going to draw the yellow because he just didn't give Apollon room to operate. You've got to kind of play the defender, play the ball, not play the body. You see right here, Ricketts stands tall and then just steps into Apollon rather than playing the ball. You have to play the ball. You can't just play the body of your opponent. Second yellow issued against the Toros now. Ricketts carries 1 and Pimentel carries 1.
Simply impeded his progress there. This looks like Beretta to take the free kick. And send this in toward the net. Missed by Derek, who was trying for the punch. Dula sends it back in. Goes off a couple of heads, and finally Coronado sends it up the pitch. So Derek had come out, missed the ball, had gone to ground, but Hartford unable to take advantage of that to put something toward the net. Ikaza appeared to grab the jersey there for a moment. Play continues. Sadie was trying to get inside. Trying to work it up to Gaviria. And Hartford regaining control here. Hartford doing a better job maintaining possession here in the second half. We saw they had only 40% possession time in the first half. And hardly any attack, very anemic offense in the first half, but it's picked up here in the second half. Well, Johnson has his pocket picked by Ward. Here's Benzon. Plays college at Cal State Fullerton. Played in Mexico most recently before signed by the Toros. Playing on that second tier in Mexico. 61st minute now, and the Toros on the move. Toros playing their last home match before September 10th. They've got 5 road games in front of them. And there the ball tipped loose, tipped up in front again, and Alta just continues to be a wall. Benzon plays it to Torres. Now goes outside. They'll try to pop this into the area, and they do. Couldn't quite get anything toward the net, and now Alta, the keeper, is down.
He came up awkwardly after that challenge at the net and was just kind of hobbling around back and forth in front, probably hoping that ball doesn't end up coming to him. You see he's rubbing that right thigh aggressively. Fortunately for him and Hartford, no one was able to really bring something in to challenge him, and as soon as that ball clears out, Alta takes a seat.
See if we can see what happened here. It was O'Connor Ward who sent it inside, then it was Gaviria who was trying to play it.
It looked like as Gaviria was trying to play it, he may have raked a cleat right down that right thigh. You see a couple of Hartford players threw their hands up, wanting a foul there, saying that Gaviria was too aggressive with O'Connor Ward. The official says not so much. Taking a look at that right leg.
You can see Alta in some pain right there. If they have to bring on another keeper, they have Sam Howard on the bench. He has not seen any action this season for Hartford.
And the other option potentially could be Joel Johnson. He started as a midfielder today. They do list him on the roster as midfielder and keeper. So he could be an emergency keeper should they need one.
Yeah, that's a good point. I suspect Alta wants to stay in there.
Back to his feet pretty quickly after being checked on. Trying to walk off that right leg.
And some might think, well, you know, keepers, they don't run very much, but they need that leg to spring, don't they?
Yeah. You don't expect your keeper to have to run a whole lot, but he's got to make snap, quick decisions in net. Jump up, get down, jump left, jump right. And anytime you've got a keeper that's got the slightest bit of issues with his legs, it prevents his ability to be quite as explosive back and forth. And that slight second of hesitation could be the difference between a save and a goal.
And we've seen that a few times as he's made a save at the lower corner. He's also made 2 or 3 saves up near the crossbars. He's had to jump into play. Another corner kick here for the Toros. Shot blocked in front. It was Ward's opportunity. Here's Ikaza with it. Ikaza will send it into the box. It's headed out by the defense. Played by Sadie. And now long pass, but Derek is way out of his net and able to comfortably play that ball over to his teammate Coronado. The player screaming down at him. I think it was Obregon. And here we see a foul call, a little too aggressive is Gaviria.
Substitution now coming in for Hartford. Taking a seat is going to be Joel Johnson, replaced by Rashawn Daly. Johnson had himself quite a first half, racing up and down. He had a couple of nice set pieces to try to get Hartford's attack going early. Now he's going to get a rest.
It's kind of an interesting sub there because you had just pointed out that Johnson is an experienced backup keeper. Otta's already kind of limping if he has to go out. It seemed like Johnson would have been the more obvious person to move to that position. Now they don't have that option. Valley started as striker last week in the loss to Pittsburgh. Comes in with 2 goals and 3 assists on only 15 shots this year. 2 subs left for Hartford and 3 left for the Toros. No score yet. We're in the 66th minute. Both teams have made substitutes to try to reinforce the offense. This is Lewis with it. Slides it to his teammate, that's Tulu. A sliding tackle there, and this might be a booking.
Yeah, it's going to go against O'Connor Ward. He comes in very aggressively against Dula, and you see O'Connor Ward says, what did I do? What did I do? He thinks he got there early enough and played the ball. We're going to look at this live. Dula is closing down on it. I think he's got an argument to be made. He made contact with that ball and cleared it out of the way before Dula gets there. That's a tough call to make. It's quick, it's bang, bang. We have the benefit of being slowed down on replay to see how close that was. But O'Connor Ward says, I did what I was supposed to do. I don't know. I went after the ball. I played the ball. The contact with Dula was incidental after the fact. The only opinion that matters is that of the official, and he says that warrants a yellow.
And I'm sure the officials are looking to err on the side of caution, aren't they?
Always, always in those situations. When you see a player that takes the kind of tumble that Dula did there. Let's see, we'll slow this down quite a bit again. Dula takes kind of a wide approach to get to that. O'Connor Ward beats him to the ball, clears the ball out of the way, and then the contact with Dula comes after that as Dula steps through the sliding tackle there by O'Connor Ward. It's close, and they're running at full speed. So oftentimes, as you said, Mark, they will err on the side of caution in favor of the offensive attacker there. You see a couple of players, Pimentel and Jose Torres, over to talk to the official for Rio Grande Valley. They're not going to take the card away. You're not talking with him to take the card away, but the argument you're making now is we need to get a call too on something close on our side. Remember this moment. This favored Hartford. Now if something close happens to us, remember this because we want a similar call.
Yeah, I think it was the famous Chicago Bears football coach George Halas who once when he was asked why does he argue with the officials when he's not going to win the argument, says I'm not arguing for that call, I'm arguing for the next call. 69th minute now, back in play. We've seen 3 bookings on the Toros here in this second half. Only one tonight on Hartford. Hartford applying some pressure here as Obregon closing in on Derek. He'll kick it all the way up to midfield. Being chased, that's Ruiz trying to get onto the ball. Had Gaviria in the middle, but it was kicked away from him. Nice defending. The Toros with 17 shots at halftime. At this point, only 2 in the second half. Here's Ruiz once more. Didn't have any options forward, so he'll play it back. Here's Torres. A lot of humidity out there tonight, by the way, as well. See how that affects the players as we head toward the second half of the second half. Pinzon to O'Connor Ward. O'Connor Ward beaten off the ball by Beretta. And now Okaza misses on the tackle attempt, and here's an opportunity here for Hartford Athletic as Lewis played it up to Obregon Jr. Trying to get it inside to Lewis. Nice little one-touch. That's McGlynn inside top of the area, and it's kicked away into safety by Ricketts.
That'll send Hartford over to the corner, a place they haven't been very few times. It's even just the first time they're going to go to the corner. Substitution now for Rio Grande Valley. Coming in is going to be Isidro Martinez. He'll replace Ricky Ruiz. It's a midfielder in for a forward. As perhaps Coach Cabrera has seen he needs some more reinforcement in the midfield. They want to get over the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, and Martinez leads the team. In fact, he's among the league leaders in assists with 6. So it could be something Coach Cabrera wants somebody in there who can create a little bit and set some of the forwards up like Gaviria, who's a second half sub. Ricketts plays that into touch, and this will be a throw in here for Hartford.
Let's give him a big round of applause. We look forward to many more achievements in your career.
So a throw in for Apollon, the defender out of Haiti. Gaviria with the intercept. He'll race forward after giving up possession to his teammate Coronado. Coronado and Igaza both out there, both have 4 goals under their belts, but neither has scored since June. In a drought, not just for them, but for the entire Toros team, with just 2 goals in their last 5 games. 2 of them draws, 3 of them losses. Pinzon with it. Pinzon with some time. Into the area. Has a man there. Gaviria. Oh, and a shot over the bar. May have gone off the defender, but a spectacular play in front of the Hartford net.
And that's what Ricketts says right away. As soon as Ricketts is up, he says that's off someone else. You see it right here. Gaviria bicycles it to Ricketts. But before Ricketts can get to it, Slide comes in and cleared out by Hartford.
Indeed, it was a corner kick, so possession stays in the Toros' favor. A shot from distance, and it goes off of Ota and then off the foot of Gaviria. Gaviria had a chance there. Chance still alive for the Toros. Pinzon tries to send it inside, blocked in front. And then this will be a throw-in. Boy, Ota gave up a bad rebound there, but the Toros unable to take advantage. Chance here as Obregon, the one touch for his teammate Sadie. Sadie unable to catch up to it after Aqui's sliding tackle attempt. Oh, it does touch Aqui last, though. It'll be a corner kick here for Hartford.
And that entire counter for Hartford is probably a product of the yellow cards the Toros have picked up. You saw Toros defensively not horribly aggressive to come in and try to take that away. A little more, we'll say, gentle defensively. They lay back, get back to try to help out Tyler Derrick. Other in this match, you saw the Toros much more aggressive at midfield. They may have attacked that a little more aggressively. But after seeing the number of yellows they've picked up, not quite as aggressive. They'll make the safe play defensively.
Here's Beretta to take the corner. Bounces all the way through a crowd of players. No one touches it until Pinzon jumps on it after it cleared the box. Long pass. This is for Martinez. Martinez looking, able to get around Lewis. Now into the box, but it's intercepted by Dula. Martinez, who played his college ball right here in Edinburgh at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. The Vaqueros. Was with New Mexico United last year, but it was with the Toros before that. Well, this is his second stint with Rio Grande Valley.
Local product out of Brownsville, about 45 minutes to an hour east of where we are. He returns home for his second stint with his home team.
Yeah, not many players or professionals get to play their high school, college, and professional ball all easily within 100 miles of each other. Kind of unusual. Sadie with it. Marked by Ricketts. Sadie forced to play it up. Now it goes to Lewis. Lewis will send it forward on the right side. This is Daly. Daly will push it to Dula. His pass inside, intercepted. That's Ward with the intercept. And here's the attack now for the Toros here in minute 75. Toros have 11 goals this season in the last 15. This is going to be offside. Intended for Gaviria.
Gaviria lost track of where that last defender was. Took one step too far forward. Looks like we'll have a substitution coming in now for Hartford as Peter Vassell will come in. He's going to replace Juan Carlos Obregon.
Vassell a midfielder, Obregon a forward. Vassell 5'11", he's from Jamaica. Has 1 goal, 1 assist this year, so we see Obregon. Obregon's got a lot of speed. You can see a number of times that he's been flying forward, kind of like a wide receiver. Just takes off toward the end zone, and Hartford trying to hit him with some home run balls, but unable to quite connect with him tonight. That ball, an awkward touch there by Bedetta. It'll be Toro's ball now. Toros have outscored their opponents 11-7 in the last 15 this season. And one of their bright spots. Here's Lewis. Lewis gets around Akwe, trying to create space. Sends to the left. This is Sadie. Sadie against Ricketts inside, and Akwe able to play it out and give up the corner.
Good look at Tyler Derrick there, hyping up his defense. That was a beautiful job defensively by Akwe. Didn't over-pursue, stood his ground. And then as they try to cross that ball back into the middle, he just punches it back out.
Bedetta leads his team in chances created, had 34 coming into tonight. They'll take this corner. This will be the 3rd of the game for Hartford, all in this second half. Their offense has percolated a little more here in the second half after just 2 shots in the first half. See what happens here. Big crowd in the penalty area. Keeper's going to stay put. This ball goes all the way through. Pinzon chases after it. And he'll start the Toros attack. A couple of Toros wide open on the right side of the field as Torres races ahead. He'll keep it on the left. Kind of a bad pass. I think he thought Pinzon was running up alongside him. Pinzon was hanging back. And Hartford able to get the intercept. Oh, here's a nice steal here. Ball played up forward. There's Ikaza. Little one touch there. Exchange with Coronado. Now outside to Martinez. Martinez says, oh, nice block there. That's Apollon. Just kind of stuck out his foot and connected. Goes to Coronado. Draws a defender and gives it up to Ricketts. Gaviria slides it to Ikaza. Now to O'Connor Ward. Looking for space into the area. 5 defenders there for Hartford. One of them clears it out. And shot from distance goes awry.
Jose Torres once again just tries to make something happen on a bouncing ball just north of the box. That one floats on him. It looked like he was trying to get over it and drive it a little better.
Otto, who was shaken up earlier in the half, that right leg doesn't seem to be showing any signs of a limp or anything like that that might be bothering him. Needing a teammate's help with the shoe. This is so the keeper doesn't have to take his gloves off.
Yeah, kind of hard to tie a shoe with those nice meaty gloves on.
Yeah, you can't really grip something that small. So each finger on the gloves is kind of a wide finger.
Coming now for the Toros, Juan Torres is going to come in to replace Jose Torres. Torres for Torres.
Yeah, Jose Torres at 34 years old. Juan Torres, 22, out of Atlanta. Be his 19th appearance this season, has 1 assist this year.
Also in for the Toros is Dylan Borchik.
Yeah, Borchik out of Michigan. Played at Oakland University, was Horizon League Player of the Year last year as a senior. Now 22-year-old rookie here in professional football with the Toros. Nice little through ball there to Cedro Martinez. They kind of thread the needle there and work it back to Icaza. To the left side. First touch there for Juan Torres. And they try to get it to Borchik, but it goes out of play. You can see Borchik there, number 18, just 22 years old. Has 2 goals this year. And has terrific instincts as far as being able to create and use his head in the literal sense. Had a great header goal earlier this year and a couple of other good opportunities. 81st minute now. One goal might be enough tonight. It's both these teams still aggressively trying to get all 3 points. Both mired in 10th place in their respective conferences. The Toros in Group West and Hartford in Group East. As Pimentel, wearing the captain's armband, will send it forward. Pimentel had the goal for the Toros last week in that 2-1 loss at San Diego. Last time the Toros were here against Las Vegas 2 weeks ago, they lost 1-0. So it's been a while since they've scored here on their home turf. Could be looking at a second consecutive shutout or clean sheet for the visiting team here at HEB Park. Lewis with it. Bumped off the ball, but there's a foul called here on Juan Torres. It'll be a free kick. Seven fouls against the Toros, 6 against Hartford in this game. Here's Dula. Dula threads the needle there a little bit, was trying to get it to Daly. Daly kind of muscled off the ball by Akwe. Good defending there, allowed Derek to come scoop it up. Ball headed by Brewitt. Now Hartford will regroup. Less than 10 minutes to go. This is a rare midweek game for both of these teams. And for Hartford, they've got to play again on Saturday. Just 3 days from now, they'll be at home against the Birmingham Legion. Toros will get this weekend off. They'll play the following weekend as they start a 5-game road swing starting in Sacramento, California. In fact, they will not see home at all in the month of August. They won't be back here until September the 10th. So they know they need to get some kind of result here tonight. Here's Torres with it. Able to win the ball. Icaza. Icaza will chip it forward. Martinez had to wait for it a little bit. That lets Apollon get in position. Torres again by the opposite side. Connor Ward coming forward. Will find Borchik. First touch here for Borchik here in this match. Now Torres. You can see Hartford really packing that middle, not giving up anything. The Toros forced to kind of either shoot or chip it from long distance. That goes out of play to be goal kick. Because we haven't really seen the shots, the quality of shots from the Toros here in this second half like we did in the first half, have we?
Not nearly. They were peppering Ulta in the first half. Now, Hartford's done a better job of maintaining possession in the second half. That certainly will cut down on the number of shots the Toros are getting. But on top of that, packing the box like they have has really prevented the Toros from finding the number of crosses they had in the first half.
I'll play back to Pimentel. Pimentel out of Mexico. Played on CONCACAF Champions League champions. Also a couple of Liga Mexico champions. A lot of veteran experience. 5 minutes and change left here in regulation. Icaza with it. Icaza to Martinez. Nice little pass there to Coronado. And gets a nice through ball here to Borchik. A chance here. Great sliding tackle there by Tulu. Anticipated the centering pass by Borchik beautifully. Now Bedetta in the open field. And Hartford on the move here. Both teams going back and forth, trying to break the deadlock. Both of them sensing that one goal could be enough to get all 3 points. Both teams trying to stop a winless streak. Here with this game tonight as Martinez, racing forward, is knocked off the ball, and it's cleared up by Tulu. Or excuse me, by Apollon. We're going to have a free kick awarded to the Toros as Ricketts is shaken up.
Ladies and gentlemen, our winning ticket number for $1,060 of our 50-50 raffle is A.
Toros on the move. Icaza will slide it forward, trying to get it to Borchik. He's upended in the area. Toros appealing for penalty. Alta has the ball, immediately puts it back in play. So no signal from the official. Seen a couple of close calls in the area tonight. Both times the official had a good look at it as Icaza is upended. And this might be a booking here for Hartford.
Indeed it will be. Yellow being issued. This one is going to go against Andre Lewis. Icaza was taken to the pitch quite violently. A little bit out of the box, but again centered, almost dead center. Lewis closing in behind, and you see there just runs over the top of Emilio Icaza. The Toros find themselves probably about 15 feet outside of the box, but dead center. Very similar to the place where they had in the first half.
Yeah, and they were able to get a good shot at the net with that opportunity in the first half, but Ota rose to the challenge. Lewis, by the way, his 4th booking this season. 2 players booked for Hartford tonight. There have been 3 booked for Rio Grande Valley. And this ball will go out of play, off the defense, and it'll be another corner here for the home club. This will be corner number 10 for the Toros here.
Looked like Icaza was going to take that for a moment. He'll step aside, and Isidro Martinez will have it.
Yeah, they had Jose Torres taking corners in the first half. Martinez will take this one with Torres on the bench. Kept alive. Here's Icaza in front. No one there able to redirect it. Akwe was nearby. Borchik has control. That goes to Ricketts. Trying to get around Apollon. Apollon with good defending, able to win the ball and send it forward for Hartford here in minute 88. Sadie come over to the right side, trying to get it to Daly, and Derek comes out of his goal, charging out to keep that ball out of play. Hartford still on the move here. It's an overlap by Vassell. Vassell trying to create some space, has 3 markers around him. It goes in front, and Daly tried with the wraparound shot, had it blocked in front of him. I think that was Akwe came in there and blocked that one.
And we had the offside flag go up as well, so even though that was deflected off of Akwe, it'll belong to the Toros, because as you see there, Hartford attack was about a half a step ahead of Akwe, who was that backline defender.
Both teams have had an offside. This is sent into the box where it's cleared up by Tulu. Borchik was in the area, so was Gaviria. This will be a throw-in. 89th minute now. Haven't seen how much time will be added on. Could be a fair amount with a lot of subs and a couple injuries here in this half. So Akwe brings it up, trying to bring up the defense to him. O'Connor, Ward. Now back to Coronado. Defense walks up to the top of the area, but the players can't hover around the goal mouth. Torres blocks that out. It'll be a Hartford throw-in. One of the Toros slow to get up. That's O'Connor Ward there, kind of limping. Toros out of subs, by the way. Hartford Athletic has one remaining. Toros trying to generate something here. In the 90th minute. Probably would expect about 4 minutes to be added on. Still waiting for that signal. See Kaza with it. Kaza chips it. Borchik, nice. Able to settle the ball well, but his shot goes over the bar.
5 minutes of added time will be tacked on now. See the sign goes up. It's all or nothing on both sides now. Because a goal will likely win it. If anybody can break through, that's probably going to be the difference.
Alta had 6 saves in the first half, has not had to make one here in the second half, although there was a goal-mouth scramble that went off one of the defenders. And now we've got a yellow on the coach, on Cabrera. Not exactly sure what he was arguing about. I think that's the first booking for him this season. He just wanted to get his point across, just wanted to be heard, and was willing to take the card to get it done. Second minute of stoppage now. Here's Apollon running ahead. Finds Seydi. Back to Apollon. Akwe gets in position, and Akwe able to steal the ball. Toros will start their attack now. Hartford's defense has pretty much stymied the Toros' attack in this second half after it was all Toros in the first half. The Toros still trying to get a late winner. Borchik. Now finds Torres. Juan Torres over to the right side. Got an overlapping defender there. That's Ricketts. Inside, here's Ikaza with it. Ikaza with a shot and a save made by Alta.
He has earned this the hard way. He's got a clean sheet because of just sheer effort. It's been spectacular net. And look at this. Ikaza breaks through. Has a pretty good look here and places that in a great spot right at the edge. But Alta read that beautifully. Comes forward and pounces on it.
Didn't look like he had tremendous pace on that, but I think he was trying to place it as well as he could into that corner. Alta rose to the occasion, or you could say dive to the occasion, able to make it. His 7th save of the game, which would be equal the season high. They had 7 saves against Detroit City back in April. Toros on the move once again. Still about 90 seconds or so to go here in stoppage. Here's O'Connor Ward. Coming over in the overlap. Able to make a nice move. Getting in close, shoots, and it hits the side netting. I think it went off the defense. This might be a corner.
O'Connor Ward did everything right in that situation, dribbling through contact, around defenders, gets himself into a corner here where he can make something happen. Look at this cutback. Just has Dula on skates. Could not find a good look. Substitution now for Hartford, as coming out will be Danny Beretta. He'll be replaced by Giselle Cedeno.
Cedeno out of Ecuador, 22 years old. The official, I think, telling Beretta to hustle off the pitch. Beretta, 32 years old, has gone all 93 minutes here tonight. And Cedeno will race onto the pitch. Got a corner kick here for the Toros. This is their 11th of the game, compared to 3 for Hartford Athletic. The Martinez to take it toward the net, punched out by Alta. A chance here, Coronado shot blocked in front. Still a chance here for the Toros to regroup. Last minute of stoppage. And Coronado kind of on the wrong page there with Ricketts. Be a turnover to Hartford. Well, Hartford maybe with one more opportunity here. We appear to be in the last minute of stoppage time. No score between these two. Alta has had some tremendous saves in goal tonight for Hartford Athletic. Both keepers looking at what could be their third clean sheet of the season. I don't think either team will be all that happy with just 1 point. Here's Martinez inside, headed up in the air by the defense. O'Connor Ward trying to get it to his teammate Icaza. Just a few seconds left. Icaza sending it forward. Hakeem Ward had pulled up. Goes out, it'll be Hartford's throw in. This might be the last touch coming up in a moment here. See, Icaza's given it everything he's had tonight. Been on the pitch the entire 95 minutes. Had that last shot a moment ago. That was saved by Ota. Here's Coronado. 30 seconds past the 5 minutes. Game could end at any second. Shot from distance. Oh, just wide of the net. Ota went to full stretch. That was Ricketts with the cannon shot from outside.
Another good look at it there. Ricketts put a good charge in that. Height was really nice. Just carried a little bit wide right.
And Ota may have been out of position just a little bit. Usually if it's a shot to your near post, the keeper doesn't have to dive like that.
Get a foul. It's a free kick for the Toros. They're off to the races here.
Yeah, Toros know. I mean, we're already into the 7th minute of stoppage. We did have a substitute that would add a little bit of time, but it should end any second now. Both teams know that, trying to press it forward as fast as they possibly can. And there's the whistle, and that's it. It ends as a 0-0 draw. Both teams will get a point. Both teams worked hard and earned the point, but I'm sure they would have been much happier with 3. And both teams will have to settle for the draw here tonight. We've got some highlights coming up in just a moment. But first, our man of the match. Who is that?
Yeah, you got to give it to Yannick Alta. In goal, he was spectacular. In fact, he's probably the reason that Hartford's coming away with that draw and the 1 point. Had it not been for him, the Toros had just peppered that goal in the first half, and the Toros probably come away with 3. But Alta says, no, I'm going to give my team an opportunity, and he did just that. 1 point for Hartford.
Highlights and stats coming up in just a moment. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
DHR Health is now safer than ever and continues to remain focused on one thing: providing exceptional care to our patients and community. No other hospital is trying harder to keep you safe. We're taking every action to ensure your safety with enhanced precautions, including 3 off-site COVID-19 units. Your health should never wait. Don't delay your health care. There is no reason to. Schedule your appointment today. DHR Health. For you, for life.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Welcome back to HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. 0-0 our final score, but still some exciting and thrilling moments in this game. Brian, take us through it.
Yeah, Plenty of scoring opportunities for Rio Grande Valley, just not a lot of finishes. You see right here, Tyler Derrick comes out big in the second half, takes what could have been a goal right off the touch right there. Went back the other way, Toros, nice cross pass there. O'Connor Ward places something in the box. Gaviria on the doorstep, but could not punch that one in. Another good look here for the Toros. Gaviria's on it. Bicycle kick leads to a good look for Ricketts, but it carries just a little bit high. Come the other way, Yukaza slips through, puts a strike forward there, but Ota, one of his several strong saves to keep the clean sheet going for Hartford. O'Connor Ward tries to bend that one in. Defense too strong, though. He can't put that in. And then Ricketts, right before the end of this one, puts a nice heavy strike on it. A little bit wide right. Toros had a torrent of shots, a season-high 32 shots, 8 of which were on target. 2 shots for Hartford, only 1 of which was on target. Time of possession leveled off a little bit. It was 60-40 in favor of Rio Grande Valley at the half, 53-47 at the conclusion of this one. 1 offsides on each side, 3 yellow cards on the Toros. That was Pimentel, Ricketts, and Ward. Just 2 against Hartford as they went to Brewer and Lewis. Give you all of those stats that ultimately matters. UTRGV, Rio Grande Valley has 32 shots, a season high, but can't come up with the big goal they needed.
And you notice Hartford didn't have any shots. They had 2 at halftime and ended up with 2 for the game, but they still were able to produce some opportunities that the Toros defense rose to the occasion, were able to break them up before they became too dangerous and challenged their goalkeeper, Tyler Derrick. Both Derrick and Ota in the respective goals pick up their 3rd clean sheets of the year. For Hartford, they snapped their 3-game losing streak and improved to 17 points, still in 10th place, however, in Group East. The Toros snap a 2-game slide, and they have 25 points now, but they are still mired in 10th place in Group West. So that'll do it. Toros' next game will be Saturday, August 6th at Sacramento. And for the Hartford Athletic, they return home this Saturday here at the end of July, and they'll take on the Birmingham Legion. And that'll be kind of a revenge match for them. Lost to them earlier this season. So that'll do it from HEB Park. For Brian Smith, I'm Mark May. The rest of our USL Championship broadcast crew enjoyed bringing this to you from Edinburgh, Texas. Final score 0-0. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.